Hey guys, it's Turok, and I feel like I'm still too low. And wow, this is just my post-chapter One Piece videos I'm doing now. Holy shit! Oda really is fucking like just dropping bomb after bomb. I know I've said something like that before. I look like I got off. But it is true. We had, and now, also, the biggest thing now, like in the last, what's it been, a month now? We've been seeing more Blackbeard. Finally, we're finally figuring out what's going on with Blackbeard more and more, and it's awful, awesome. So, wow. Yeah, so Blackbeard was at friggin' Boa Hancock's Island, the Amazon Lily, a while back. Now he's back here, he was waiting to ambush whoever came to the island. By the way, I should find out what that island is while we're doing this. So he comes back to the island. He comes back. He goes and waits at one of the islands, and it ends up being the one that Law went to, and he's waiting there to ambush them, whoever came, to get the road poneglyph. And probably, in this case, so we found out too, Blackbeard is definitely stealing fruits, and so we found out all his, most of his main crew members that he's had been with him since the beginning have devil fruits now. So Jesus has the buff fruit. Van Auger, the one who's the sniper, has a warp fruit, teleportation fruit, and the Doc Q has a fruit with that lets him cause diseases to people. I guess you could say that's kind of like the opposite of Law's fruit. Actually, that was funny though. Why? Actually, yeah. Why does we learned something really interesting there with Law this past week, this recent chapter with Haki, that if you can exert enough Haki, you can reverse effects of a devil fruit upon you. And so, let's see, who has all the devil fruits that can do power? Like, I can't think of any good examples, but could you use Haki to, I think, yeah, if you have iron Haki, it can protect you against the string fruit. I was thinking about Doflamingo's fruit. But what I'm just was thinking now is that, why can't, I was thinking, why did Law need to use Haki to reduce why didn't Law use his fruit power to reverse Doc Q's power? I'm thinking Law's fruit is has the ability to heal stuff. He's like a doctor. He's got this fruit with the Apinomi that's right. Let's look up the powers again. So anyways, with Blackbeard, he's stolen other devil fruits, and now he's going to he's given them to his main crew members who must not have any specific powers. They all had different skills already, though. We had Van Auger, who's a sniper. Jesus Burgess is their main fighter, brawler. Doc Q, and they have a doctor, and they have a sniper, doctor, another brawler, and I don't know what Luffy can do specifically. Hey, let's see. What's this fruit? So Blackbeard is making moves now in order to get the One Piece, and he is ready to go get it, basically. So I'm worried now that he'll end up getting Law's fruit here, and that's his intention too. I think the way he spoke to Law makes me think he was hoping to meet Law and in order to defeat him and get Law's fruit, which is one of the most impressive ones we have in One Piece. Okay, no, his problem is more like an operation fruit. I was thinking he could like just heal with it. Heal. I was thinking like glue. I was thinking like Law would be able to negate a disease with his if he creates a room, and it's more like I remember now. Law more like was doing things like where he can like detach people's heads without them dying, and all kinds of other organs like his heart and others' heart, and they can even stay inside a special little sphere, which is kind of like probably a miniature version of his room, and those things can stay there even if he hasn't. Actually, that's weird too. He can't dismiss one of those. He has to put it back because when he was fighting Virgo had his heart, and Law. I was just thinking, why can't he just snap his finger or something and bring it back to him? I guess that wasn't possible. He needed Smoker's help there to get it back. But so his powers would not probably negate Doc Q's the way I was just thinking. So he needed to do hockey in order to do it, apparently. So there's that. The other thing I was just thinking of too with Blackbeard making a move toward the One Piece. Back about how many chapters ago was it now? Shanks is just talking with Ben. I remember Shanks talked with Ben Beckman after they left Wano that let's go collect the One Piece. So we've known probably for a long time. That Shanks probably knows exactly how to get the One Piece. That seemed to concretely tell us that. I wonder if he'll be able to get there if he's already on his way there and he can get there before anyone else can. It would look like he can, but I'm not for sure yet. But that just tells me that I'm hoping that Shanks does get there and get the One Piece at this point, because I'm a little worried about Blackbeard getting there first. Unless Shanks is going to be some kind of last roadblock too, like some people have speculated, where he'll he's going to wait there as a guard, him and his men, his crew, as the last thing to gatekeep it, to make sure someone like Blackbeard can't get to it, and perhaps to challenge Luffy and the others to prove they're ready to get it. Maybe Shanks understands the weight of what it really is, that he's been there, and he will make sure that anyone who comes there, even if they're have good intentions, are worthy of it, essentially. So hopefully he's there on that part. Still, I wonder too what he told the world government too about a certain man. Also, we still don't know if Caribou is working for him. I was thinking if Caribou was going to tell somebody about Wano having Pluton there. So we'll have to wait and see maybe if that is the case, and Blackbeard or somebody, we'll probably find out soon if somebody's going to end up going to Wano to get Pluton in this arc. I'm sure of it. Now, what chapter was I just going to look up? And so, so what was I going with that? So Blackbeard's doing that, and Kid. And we don't know where Kid is now either. We don't know if Kid's going to go back to Impel Down, and I'm hoping that will be shown soon. Also, that's something I wanted to clarify. I was watching Tekking's video yesterday, and I always watch it after I record my videos, because I don't want to have his stuff influence my... I'm trying to think my stuff for myself. What's with my hair? Anyways, I was under the impression that the Kid and Law and Luffy all have the etchings of each poneglyph, but he was saying that he thought that Kid and Law don't have more than 2 of them. But so I must have been wrong on that part. But I was certain when they exchanged them there, I thought for sure that Kid and Law got copies from Luffy because someone was doing something there where they wanted to make it fair. Oh, that's the chapter I was gonna look up. I want to see what island Law is on. So, how do you say it? So, I'm hoping in a way that I'm wrong there, and that if he doesn't have all the Law doesn't have all the load poneglyphs, and he ends up losing, that that way what do you call it? Blackbeard won't have all the other things. So even if he has, so if I'm wrong, and I'm kind of hoping so, and Law only has 2. And even if Blackbeard somehow knows where the 4th poneglyph is, then Blackbeard still will only have 3 of I can't do that. 3 of them, and he'll have to go after Luffy no matter what, or follow Luffy to make sure he can get the last one he needs. So we'll see how that goes. So Blackbeard though is definitely being very smart here too, and he's waiting for the others to come to him to get so he can just pounce on them. He'd rather not go waste his strength up against Kaido and Big Mom directly. He's letting the others do the work, and he capitalizes on them doing that. Let's see, that was about Cross Guild. Here, maybe. Here we go. So, Luffy. Oh, what the heck did I do? East, west. Oh. Northeast. Okay, so he went to the island in the northeast of Wano. So, back. I gotta invert it. So, I'm trying to think it in my head. So, he went back that way, and the other kid, and it looks like Luffy ended up east. So, Egghead Island is east of Wano? Okay. Egghead Island is east of Wano. It looks like it's close to the Calm Belt on that side, and southeast one's also close to that same Calm Belt, and the northeast one's on the other near another Calm Belt, over the other Calm Belt over there. Wait a minute, north. Oh yeah, the compass thing is all upside down, but it looks like it's correct. So, okay, yeah. So he went to the northeast island, and we don't know what that island's called or anything. And we just know that. So if Luffy went to east, and he went to Egghead Island, which is right there. So I just wonder too how many other islands are left after the after those 3. Is the southeast one? Could that be Elbaf maybe, or will Elbaf be after that? We'll have to find out soon. So and where does that place? Where's Honeycomb Island? Where's Blackbeard's Island from Wano? Wano feels like at this point that we're pretty close to the end of the Grand Line of the New World. So I wonder where Blackbeard's Island is placed from there. And that G14 base as well. The G14 base must be right nearby there as well. It doesn't show on the map whether or not that could be one of the other islands. No, it must not be. They probably would know if that's another one. But the G14 base was supposed to be close to Egghead Island. So we know that's over there somewhere too. So I just leave Egghead Island. Elbaf. Where's Blackbeard's home base, and so Raftel, where's Raftel from that area too? And there's that. So they never show the island, do they? Just show them. Oh, so another thing too. I like to point. There was a good point that Luffy talked about Luffy. Tekking was talking about how it's interesting that the world government, you can really tell that the world government in this world is a tyrannical place, because they destroyed Ohara, which was a land of academic learning 20 something years ago, to I also my point is at first is that like you always know these kind of governments are very scared. These kind of governments want to stay in power when they're snuffing out like the smart people, the really smart like academic and scientific minds, because so they can keep their power. They don't want like that kind of they don't want too many of them who can help oppose them or something like that. It would seem. Well, in the case of Ohara, they accidentally stumbled upon something that about the past that the world government did not want let out, and now they're going after Egghead Island to Vegapunk of all people to kill him, even though he's actually working for them. Like they really are like trying to take out everything that can really hold water against them. It seems. I really wonder in some ways why they're not. Maybe because I wonder how much the government knows about the road poneglyphs being in the hands of these pirates, our main characters. I feel like if they knew that Blackbeard and Law, Kid, and Luffy, these four all had these road poneglyphs now, they would probably take a better, more aggressive action to go after them and stop them right now before they get to the raftel. Because I'm pretty sure the government doesn't want anyone to find it. I actually wonder, did I say that before? I wonder if Im-sama might actually know what the One Piece is to some effect, and but he hasn't acted upon finding it because he's got other matters to take care of, or if he's waiting for them to find, maybe he's waiting for them to find it too. But why didn't he do anything when Roger found it, I should think? It just seems like Im-sama's taking too much of a hands-off approach with this, and then he should be acting more if he's worried about the One Piece. So maybe he really isn't worried about the One Piece, I wonder. So what else did we get? We had... Oh, that's by the way too, we still don't know anything about what happened to Law. We'll find out. Hopefully, find out about Law next chapter. Hopefully, that won't leave us hanging because we still don't know where Kobe is. Because when we saw Blackbeard last, and he was forced to leave Amazon Lily, he took Kobe with him. We don't know the circumstances of that yet. But Kobe and what's his name? Not Ace. Sabo and Kobe, we still don't know anything about what happened to them after we found out Sabo being on Lulusia when it was destroyed, and he was there telling Dragon about the empty throne not being that empty. Let's see. So there's that. So we don't know. Yeah, they're left hanging. We don't know. We were still left hanging with them. We don't know where they are. So that sucks. Now what else? So hopefully we find out what's happening. So we got like multiple strings of plot lines going on. Yeah, Luffy now. Tekken said this best, and I kind of was thinking of it, but I hadn't formed it the way he said it. Oda really is now taking on an approach which I like. I personally like this approach better in usually when I read books and movies, and especially books, because I like to read fantasy novels with lots of characters, and he's going into this approach now where different chapters and even parts of the chapter are focusing on the events simultaneously happening elsewhere, not just focusing on the Straw Hats and their adventure on a single island, as has been the case since the very beginning. And then what he would have started doing, especially after Crocodile was defeated, was he would go do a post-arc events that were happening in the world, like the new Blackbeard being instated as a new warlord, and we saw some of the other warlords like Kuma and Mihawk arrive and talk with that meeting with Sengoku, and I was just thinking, why is Sengoku? Why was Sengoku? I wonder if he ever voiced any. He's been in the Navy probably for over 40 years. Yeah, easily over 40 years, and I'm surprised he didn't vote. Was he more vocal against the warlord system being instated there? I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure he wouldn't hate someone like Mihawk so much, but he does. They all are pirates, and so he would not like them. But I was just wondering why he hadn't been more vocal about that in the past. Maybe Garp convinced him that it should be okay because then he can keep an eye on them better, which didn't work with like Crocodile Doflamingo though, and Moria. How did they even get a hold of Moria? Or they got Denden Mushies. But I was thinking for a second, maybe because that Garp worked with Roger in the past. Well, that wouldn't work so well because Sengoku seemed to hate Ace. Well, not hate him. But I was thinking that Garp would say, well, not all pirates are bad just because we label them as criminals. They're more like vigilantes. I always think of some of the pirates like Luffy and I'm like, they're kind of like vigilantes. They're not really committing crimes. They're not in the same boat as Kid, who's committed crimes against civilians. He's killed civilians. I don't know if he's always done it directly, or whether I always felt like it would be with. Well, no, he did. Yeah, he did do directly. He crucified people, had them put up like that. I can't remember that with Kid. Kid is not a good guy. I'm a little like surprised Kid's being turned into a main character, other than the fact he's a rival, because he's just like he's not a good guy. And I hope Caribou is not. Someone was saying something about Caribou being in a comment on Caribou becoming a crew member of the Straw Hats. Dude, he fucking point blank killed a Navy officer or Navy member, Marine member at Sabaody. I don't want him to be a Straw Hat. It's like I've seen it we've seen it in other manga where other characters become who are bad guys, quote bad guy. Bad guys, but they turn a new leaf. But I don't think Kid and Caribou are the kind of characters that we should celebrate to be that good. They've done some pretty shitty stuff in the arc, and we've seen some of it. I'm a little surprised they were making Beige too a bit of a good guy when he's this cold-blooded mafia guy who's shot people. He stabbed one of his members of his crew in the eye at Sabaody. So it's a little hard to want to be like these guys when you remember they're so terrible, especially Caribou in my opinion. So anyways, yeah, where was I going with that? Oh, Sengoku, I would not like pirates. Maybe Garp had told him, hey, it's okay to some degree that we can't do anything about this anyways. But with the Warlord system, when it was instated that pirates aren't always bad, and unfortunately, pretty much, I think the only ones we saw that probably were not so terrible was like, well, we don't know about Kuma, but he was called the Tyrant, so that's not a good sign either. But there's Kuma and Boa. Well, Boa was still doing pirating activities, so that was pissing people off. But other than that, yeah, I guess I can see why Sengoku doesn't like the pirates. I'm wrong. They're pretty much you pretty much only if you had a warlord system, Luffy would have been the best choice of a warlord because he is not really he's not pirating. He is not a criminal. I don't even think he really understands the meaning of a pirate. He just thinks it sounds cool because of Shanks being a pirate. I doubt Shanks is really a pirate, and I still doubt Mihawk really is. Mihawk, we found out enough about Mihawk that it goes with a theory I thought about him that he probably just became a criminal. He's a criminal to the Marines because he used to hunt Marines, probably to seek some kind of challenge. Mihawk and Shanks and Luffy, so Luffy being like on the crew, being a warlord would have probably been a best choice because, I mean, although he wouldn't want to take orders from them, at least he wouldn't be chased by them anymore because he's always being hunted by Smoker. By the way, I think Smoker needs to get with the program and realize, I hope he has, that Luffy is not worth chasing after anymore. Let someone else do it. Let someone else focus your energies elsewhere. Luffy is not a threat to your establishment. Unless you're worried about him finding the One Piece and bringing down the house, as it were, with the world government because he's gonna find the One Piece and change the world. So I'm really hoping that by the end of this series, if Luffy becomes king of the pirates, that he's not hunted anymore by any sort of so even if the world government, I'm assuming the world government will crumble in the establishment at the top, the Celestial Dragons, the Gorosei, and Im-sama going down. But I'm hoping that the world government probably should stay in some structure. No, not really, because I think all these other nations should be able to do the things they want. And it does seem they can to some degree, but not. I feel like there's some things they probably can't do without the approval of the world government. So I don't really like the idea of a world government. But if it's keeping peace for now, I could see it being dissolved slowly, I guess, over time after the ones who control it are taken out at the end. So I really hope, though, that Smoker or someone else aren't trying to pursue, or Kobe, I guess, aren't going to go after Luffy over and over again in the same way that Garp was chasing Roger all the time. So that's that. Yeah, that's my rant on that one. And we didn't find out anything more about the other Vegapunk's this chapter, really. So hopefully we'll get some of that too this chapter. It's kind of hard to figure out we should have like a bingo card. Make a bingo card basically of which plot points that Oda has started in the last 4 or 5 chapters will be followed through in each chapter. So like we continued Luffy this week, but then we didn't go back to anything with Kobe or Sabo. Like I said, we went to Law instead. We followed up what's happening with him. Also, in some ways, we're Tekken was pointing out like we're changing. We're in the middle. We're starting an arc, but we're still jumping around with all these things. This to me almost feels like it's still like a middle arc, in between arc. Over a thing going on, like we're not really into an arc yet. I kind of feel like basically the Oda will end up switching. Will end up following the Straw Hats more in as this chapter goes on. So we'll wait and see. Oh, also I forgot. We still haven't seen what's happening. We haven't seen anything else with Zero just yet. I assume what will probably happen though is that one of these next chapters with that, the Straw Hats will, when they're reunited and they probably meet more of the Vegapunks, the Zero will step in and start trying to kill off Vegapunk's things there. And maybe that's where we'll start getting a really great fight, a reunion of the Straw Hats versus Cypher Pole. So, gotta go to So Cypher Pole, yep. And hopefully we find out more about Bonnie here. Oh boy, I bet everyone's hoping that Bonnie becomes a Straw Hat too. I don't see that happening. I bet after she figures out what is happening here, she'll just get her crew back and go back to her usual activities. I don't know, like what's she gonna do? She wants to be the queen of the pirates, I assume. She said she's a rival. But will she try and steal the load poneglyph things from them? Oh, that could be. What if she steals the load poneglyphs and they have to chase after her after this arc is over? This part of it, the egghead. I could see that where they have to chase after her and make her give up. I'll get a sip of water. Make her give up the load poneglyphs, but... Oh, there's something too. There's another thought that just came in my head. What would happen if Law and Bonnie in the same room, and they both have their powers, can either one of them like negate the other's power, or what if she like tries to make him DH into a kid at the same time he's trying to open a room and wants to lop her head off to disorient her? Who would win in that situation there? I guess whoever was the quickest, because it seemed like her power worked, in like a radius kind of like his, but we didn't see any visible way of it happening the way Laws does. So that'll be interesting. That would be an interesting fight. Also, I'm a little something earlier. I was a little surprised that Blackbeard. I wonder if Blackbeard really understands what kind of fruit Luffy has, and if he's at all afraid of him. He seems especially confident lately, so maybe not. But I almost wish that we would have a little pre-fight with the law with Luffy and Blackbeard at this point, since the last time we saw any exchange between them was at Impel Down, and Luffy has changed quite a bit since then, and Blackbeard too now has a new fruit, and Luffy's fruit now is revealed to be different. So I'm hoping that at some point soon we'll get a brief fight exchange with them to gauge like their difference in power or the gains they've had in the past 2+ years, and what they'll look like toward the end. Oh yeah, so Pudding's been kidnapped for certain, and so we still don't know who kidnapped her. We're assuming it's Blackbeard, and I was just thinking, I wonder what Katakuri was at this point that this happened. It looks like only Cracker and Brûlée, I forgot her name last chapter. Cracker and Brûlée were there, and they could not stop Aokiji. Also, this is something I was thinking about. This kind of shows me how, to me, anyways, that if the admirals really wanted to, and they could find out when the admirals and the Marines, like say Aokiji was still there too, if they really wanted to take out one of the Yonko, why couldn't they just find out when Big Mom's leaving, and then just go to the island and fight the rest of her family? I really feel like most of the other family members, as potent as they are, as much trouble we saw like Luffy fighting Katakuri and Cracker, that they're still not really top tier competition to equal to the Marines. The Marine, I feel like if you brought all three admirals into and creating an attack plan to go after one of the Yonko territories, that they could do it. That they could well, I guess they wouldn't go after Wano because they already were planning to do that. But they were waiting for the giant-ass walls we just found out about, to actually come down and then send their troops in. Because that would be really hard for them to get into there. And the only thing I can really think of, I guess, with Big Mom is, well, that's the thing, yeah. So I'm thinking without Big Mom, let's say they wanted to go to Tottenham like somebody did here. How did they sneak through Big Mom's defenses? She supposedly had this great big fleet. That's what I was just going to say. I was thinking maybe the Marines wouldn't want to lose a lot of men fighting her fleet, but you got the light guy, and he could just zoom in there and start taking those ships out. You could have Aokiji freeze in the waters actually and stopping most of the fleet. I'm just really surprised here, basically, at the inaction the Marines have not taken against, especially like Big Mom. I really am convinced that they, especially seeing this, that the Marines would have had an upper hand easily against Big Mom all this time, and they just sat in their hands. How do you say that? Oh, actually, I wonder if that was like some orders from the top that they never go there. I wonder if that's something part of Yim-sama's plan. I think I kind of said that before, where they could they could what was I just gonna say? They would want all these pirates to cause problems for some reason. I'll have to find out later. But the Pudding's gone, and this ties into directly to something we were worried about with because she can awaken her third eye. And so she would probably hopefully we'll find that. There's the other thread too. Will we find out a little more about this now in this more of this cover page, or will we get a chapter soon where Blackbeard, if it's him and his captains that kidnapped her, where he talks to, maybe that'll be it. Maybe we'll see Pudding and Kobe in the same chapter, because they'll both be prisoners now on Beehive Island. I bet that's how Oda's gonna play it out. Kobe and Pudding will be together on Beehive Island, and we'll find out more about that then. And so yeah, anyways, I can see how Kaido's fortifications, the natural fortifications of Wano, would make it very hard for the Marines to get in there, but I really see no reason that Big Mom couldn't have been snuffed out, taken out, or like her islands, weaken her infrastructure and take out a lot of her big members and throw them into Impel Down. Probably could have done that. At least make raids, I guess. Attack them down and get some of them out of there. Don't you let her exist there for so long. I mean, she already had enough. I'm sure she didn't have her own probably nation until after rocks fell. But by then and by then her kids were only, she had like maybe 7 or 8 of her kids who would only still be kids. But now there's all these. Now she's just been there hunkering down and building up her crew for decades, and but still, even then, I'm kind of contradicting myself. I still think they could have taken them on, even with all the ones she has. This would be intense losses, and that's all I can think of is they didn't want to take the losses right now, or some kind of orders from the top. Next thing, something else. Why is it? I'm thinking about something. Why is it too? I think I've asked this before. Why is it that the Yonko are only Yonko? Why is there only 4 emperors? Because now Luffy and Buggy are considered new emperors, replacing Kaido and Big Mom. But at the same time, Law and Kid have the same bounty amount as Luffy. They are, in my eyes, they are essentially emperors. I think this thing is a little meaningless in of itself, though. I get with Kaido and Big Mom. Big Mom really is the only one I really get right now, because she has a giant nation of like 35 islands, and so she is controlling a huge amount of territory that the government would probably rather have under their control. She is a empress. She's a queen of Totland, but the others being called emperors. I wonder if this is like a translation thing where they're not emperors in the way that I, as someone who studied Western history, like Roman emperors would think of. I just wonder if there's a little bit of a difference in the way they're spelling it, what that meaning is. But anyways, Kaido, sure, he's very powerful and they can't kill him. What actually means if he can't be killed, how would will the lava really kill him if everything else they've ever tried doesn't? But anyway, so Kaido has a single nation and has an impressive amount of He had an impressive amount of manpower at his disposal. I think it was like 25 to 30,000 people plus all those other oars like beasts and stuff. But look what happened. Well, alright, there's a caveat there, but as soon as Kaido was gone, Green Bull comes in there right away and attacks King and Queen at the Udon prison, but they were pretty weakened. I would have liked to see if they would have stood a better chance against him, especially King, because he's a fire user against Green Bull. That would have been a good fight. I hope King is still alive and he comes back and kicks Green Bull's ass, actually. And between those two, I'd rather pick King to win over Green Bull. Yeah, I don't know. So, Kaido has a single nation. He had a lot of manpower. But an emperor? I don't know. Same with Whitebeard. He had a lot of auxiliaries, a lot of people who were helping him, and he had like 1,600 some manpower too. That's only 1,600. It's just like the discrepancies in manpower and stuff. Even though he had a lot of devil fruit users too, it just seemed like calling them emperors of the sea is just kind of a little overkill label for them. But anyways, I'm getting into a tangent of like I don't know, semantics or no, not that. But Law and Kid should be considered emperors. They shouldn't be. Why is it limited? Basically, is what I'm asking, to 4. Why can't it be more than that? They just said Luffy was a 5th emperor after he left Totland. Now they say no, there's only 4 again. But no, Kid and Law should be emperors. They should just say, oh, we got this. There's a bunch of emperors running around now. Especially when you get to that point of that bounty, they're all at 3 billion. Making them near the top now of active bounties. I'm still considering Kaido and Big Mom in this, by the way. I know that they're not considered emperors anymore, but let's go with this. So Big Mom, Kaido, they're the top. Kaido's first. Shanks, Blackbeard, Buggy, Luffy, Kid, Law. What's that? 8. So they're in the top 10 of the bounties that we are aware of are active. We don't know about Dragon yet. But, and they're not an emperor? Come on. Yeah, sorry, that's my tangent on that one. Also, I'm still hoping that, I was just still disappointed that Yamato didn't come with them. We'll find out about that later. So what was anything else from the last chapter? So Zoro, hopefully find out too what Zoro wants to do with the what he wants to ask of Vegapunk. I'm hoping it is about the smiles to help all those people. Although I don't know how he's going to incentivize him outside of saying I'm going to cut your head off if you don't make it for the other people. Oh yeah, we still don't know too what Lafitte has as a devil fruit. So I'm wondering if Lafitte was the one that went with Aokiji. Oh. We saw 2 pairs of shoes back on I think it was, what chapter was it? I said 1046 or so. The cover page story. We don't know who it was if that was with Aokiji, but if I wonder if it was Lafitte, and I wonder what kind of devil fruit he has, because he's the only original member that we haven't seen much. I don't think we've seen him at all since the post arc. We just saw the others here in this last chapter. So there's that. Also, so what Bonnie? Yeah, I'm hoping. We'll go back to Bonnie here. So I'm still concerned here. Whether or not, where is Kuma? Is Kuma really the one at Mariejois then? Is that what it is? And I got that part wrong? I should go look at that up and check. Cause I was thinking, what did I think? Did I think it was it's a Seraphim. I was trying to think at one point, I think I made a mistake with thinking that was actually Kuma that they had brought, that the Aegis Zero had brought with them. I think I made that mistake, and that was actually a Seraphim, which also other people, by the way, point out that Seraphim, there was a mistake with that too, where its hair should look the same color, should be the colors, like the other ones, the Mihawk and Boa one we saw, they have that blondish hair, much like King has, an actual Lunarian. Oh, gross. I was just looking to the panel of that chapter, and you see friggin' St. Charles drooling when he saw Princess Shirahoshi. That dirtbag bastard. She should have just fucking screamed there and caused the fucking Sea Kings. Oh, there's something. Could friggin' given how long the Sea Kings are, if she really tried... if she really tried to summon them there around Mariejois, could she summon enough of them that they could probably crush Mariejois itself? I mean, given there are there are a lot of defenses, I'm sure, there. That we know they have their own personal police force. But if setting that aside and to say they couldn't stop that, would she be able to summon enough Sea Kings to do that, I wonder? I bet she can make enough of them that could destroy and Impel Down. That place looks pretty big, but I doubt the defenses there could stop Sea Kings if Shirahoshi really wanted to do that. So what the hell is that chapter here? Is it 907? I bet it was. The Empty Throne. Kizaru, what do they use to establish Chase Charlos? Also, who is this? Who is the other Celestial Dragon that knocked out St. Charlos back at and I'm going back, I'm trying to find the Kuma panel. I wanted to confirm Kuma's is the one at Mariejois. But who is this other who's the other Celestial Dragon? Yeah, who hit wow, get your tail away from that mic. Come on, stop it. That's knocked out St. Charlos, I wonder. I don't think they ever showed here who that was. Oh yeah, then they showed who was that here? Oh, it was St. Rawls. No, St. Roswald. Was he the one who oh wait, here he is. No, that wasn't St. Roswald. Yeah, that does look like it's the actual Kuma. Okay, it says it is, and he's a former king of Sorbet. Okay, so yeah, I mixed that up at some point. I thought Kuma was there that was there with the I think at the oh, I just think it was another pacifista with Agazero. So I was just trying to remember where, I'm trying to keep track of where Kuma was. So damn, there's beating the shit out of him there. So Kuma's there with that Saint fucking who's this dickhead? Saint Roswald. Who was that? Saint Charles' son, maybe? Saint Charles is his son. He's there with their Kuma. And it looks like, yeah, Zach. So Kuma's there. So Bonnie knows that, but it was so that to me made it a little weird that she acted the way she did. Oh, I guess she's having some trauma here or something of that fact. I can't. When she saw this pacifista police officer wandering around the future world area and went after Luffy and her and Jinbei and Chopper because apparently when they got the clothes on that it constituted a theft to it because they had to pay somehow. And then she just she didn't let Luffy fight it because it looks like her father. And actually though, to me, at first I didn't think it was Kuma because it just didn't look enough like him, I thought at first. Although it does have the chin, I was expecting it to look, because his glasses are different, right? Let's see, where is... Oh, there's something else too. One other thing. So Kuma's there. He wasn't wearing glasses, right? He had something else on his face. This one's wearing like sunglasses. So that kind of threw me off too, maybe why it didn't look like the regular Kuma. And the fact that he's using laser beams out of his hand, and I don't think Kuma can do that. That's something else I'll have to check. But also one other thing. So we were thinking that I was thinking I don't know what I thought about this one. I just thought I kind of forgot about this, but Hacking brought up how he thought maybe until we found out otherwise, he thought that Bonnie may have been actually like Kuma's mother, and that her old lady form we saw at Mariejois here was her real form, and now we found out otherwise. But it has a little panel here where it introduces her as the Queen Dowager of Sorbet named Connie. I wonder if that name or that appearance she's taken on, it wouldn't be 1-to-1 because she's just making herself older. I wonder if she was like trying to impersonate her grandmother, perhaps, Kuma's mother, when he was there, when she was there to, when she was there sneaking in to find Kuma. Maybe she did that as a way to sneak in rather than being so it wasn't. We know it wasn't really her real form. Her current age we see her in is likely what it is. So yeah, I was reading something. So it's this. I wonder if she was like impersonating her grandmother and then going in there to find Kuma. What was the other thing? One last thing I had to say. Yeah, and Kuma always has that other hat on, and this one's wearing a police hat. By the way, here when it shows Sabo with this look in his eyes when he's with the other revolutionaries when they saw Kuma there, he reminds me of Shanks. Oh, there's a good map of the New World. I'll have to keep that for later. I had something else. Also, how the hell did Kuma get here? Wasn't he protecting the Sunny for 2 years? And then he left when Frankie came back, or Robin did first? And how did he get back over here to Mariejois? That's kind of puzzling to me. Right, wow, you're scratching me. You can't do that. Oh, I know I had something else I was going to say about Bonnie here. Now I forgot. I guess that's it for now. I'll just stop. Something else that was just bothering me. I was looking at the last chapter. Why is it that that Blackbeard had to fly in to attack Law on top of Doc Hugh when they had just teleported Beezus, Jesus. I've been watching that comedian named Eddie Izzard. He has a skit where he's calling Jesus by the wrong name, or he's pretending he's God and he's calling Jesus by his wrong name. Name like saying Beezus, Jesus, something else. So Jesus was teleported ahead of the Law's crew to cut them off, to get almost you could say like a pincer movement to keep them from escaping into wherever this island presents itself to has that they could try and hide in. They're trying to really corner him. So how come why did Blackbeard need to fly in? I was wondering, does the teleportation not work on him for some reason? It's like, how much does Blackbeard's powers block others from using devil fruit on him? Like, that's interesting. That's right. So Haki is like an anti-devil fruit ability, an anti-devil fruit, and you can use armament to fight Logias. You can use now Law has shown us that you can use it to turn off effects on you by devil fruits. Why? How? That's interesting. Yeah. Why is the what is hockey? How is? Ooh, darkness. I was just thinking for a sec. What if like Blackbeard's fruit is like the embodiment of armament hockey, or they're in hockey in general, in a fruit. So he doesn't have to learn armament hockey necessarily. Though, although I think he does know it, because he used it to block the Mihawk Seraphim attack. No, that can't be quite right. But Blackbeard has has this fruit that can block Devil Fruit abilities. So I was wondering for a second if that means other Devil Fruit abilities can't be used on him, even if there's something that can help him. So like I'm thinking with Van Augur's fruit, he couldn't use it on Blackbeard to send him to the island. Maybe his power is better now, where you can't use Devil Fruit abilities on him at all. Like, oh, that makes it bad for Law too then. If you can't use Devil Fruit abilities on him at all, then he's really he really can have an advantage against someone like Law, who has his Devil Fruit ability is specifically to create a room and manipulate you in any way he wants. And he has all kinds of little things he can do with that. This is really going to be a bad fight for Law. Hopefully that sword he's got, I forget its name, is a good sword, because he's going to need that, because I don't think his Devil Fruit's going to work once. If what I'm thinking is even true, he's really screwed. And if even without that, Blackbeard can open up his power, start flooding the area with... I'm thinking he'll have to flood the area with his darkness stuff to negate the room opening and engulfing him in it. Basically going in here with the fight will be, Law's going to probably try and open a room. But he does know what Blackbeard can do. He saw the fight against Whitebeard. Everyone, did they know? Was the camera still active at that time? He probably knows one way or the other what Blackbeard can do. So he'll try to open a room, but Blackbeard will unleash the darkness and block it. So Law's going to have to rely on his sword to help him. Like his swordsmanship, his combat abilities, I think, to fight Blackbeard. And we don't know what Blackbeard fighting styles does Blackbeard use? He uses he has a gun, he keeps a lot of pistols on him. So he might have Cease Prism Stone too, but even without, he doesn't necessarily need that. Although that would probably hurt Law more. He may start doing that to help weaken Law, because I'm thinking he probably would want to fight Law first to take advantage of his power. Blackbeard to use his own powers to negate Law's. Versus if he had fought Kid, the main thing I think with Kid is that would be interesting. If he just Kid is just summoning magnetic objects around him, metal, and throwing them at Blackbeard. Can Blackbeard's Darkness Fruit? Well, he could suck stuff in, but I don't think he can really negate that Kid's powers unless he really engulfs enough of that darkness in a way where maybe Kid's stepping in it, and that would somehow negate his powers. So I just feel like of the three, what I'm getting at here too is that of Kid, Law, and Luffy, because one of the other two could have ended up here, because this is an ambush he had set up. I think Law is at the disadvantage the most against Blackbeard directly. His ability, right? Also, I noticed here Blackbeard's definitely just having fun with this, because he points out how the world's going to turn on its head with Kaido and Big Mom gone. So he is very similar to Kaido in some ways. So he's just really enjoying this stuff. Also, I like that Oda still decided to do this with Blackbeard, this fat, overweight guy riding on poor Doc Q and his horse, crushing him down. Poor guy. Poor horse. I feel bad for the horse in a way. Just having to lift up that guy. He must be 400 or 500 pounds, I'm guessing. He's really tall too, because in One Piece world, they're bigger than normal. So he's dealing with a lot there. I felt like there was something else too. Well, yeah, Law's a girl. What was the thing with the island? What kind of island is that? It's got a lot of rocky formations. So that's probably it for today. I think I got enough here. I'm gonna. This was just my thoughts on Blackbeard and why, what may be his fruits or what his fruit powers may be preventing him. Whether he was prevented to he can't be teleported. That also makes me think even if he had like Toki's fruit, the mother of Momonosuke. That I wonder if what I'm thinking is true. That would mean like stuff like time travel. He couldn't be sent in time. Maybe like the guy, the Foxy, who's got the gravity fruit, he couldn't probably use that to freeze Blackbeard because maybe I'm thinking now that Blackbeard may become so powerful, especially if he's learned to awaken, and that's the point I should put it in. What if Blackbeard here has awakened his fruit so much so? Yeah, that's it. He may have awakened his fruit so much. Awaken it so much. He awakens it once. If he's awakened his fruit, I'm thinking that would work with what I'm thinking about here with how Van Augur cannot teleport him. And if other people can use powers, can't use powers on him. Maybe he's awakened himself where instead of affecting the area, because he already can do something like that I saw before where he can put stuff out and he used his fist. I think he created a blackness in front of it and he used it to block Whitebeard when he used the Goro Goro no Omi. What if when his awakening, that just means he can create a, similar to Law's room, he creates his body's perpetually creating a force field of sorts around him, or even over his skin, to block devil fruit abilities on him. Kind of like I read the Twilight books. I really liked them actually. There were some problems with them, and I know it's the kind of scene. It's just a gal thing or a woman thing, but the books were good overall. Some problems, but we found out, spoilers if you haven't read it and you don't want to. But Bella has an ability in there where she can create a force field of sorts that. In there, people had abilities just cause too. There was no like devil fruits in there. They just had abilities, and Bella's was very potent because we had like her husband Edward and some others who could like their abilities had impacted. He read your mind, and there were others that could disable you and cause you like pain or not feel anything. There was those two enemies of theirs. But that involved going into affecting your mind, we found out, more or less. And Bella was immune to that naturally, even before she was a vampire. So humans, apparently, in the Twilight world, could have abilities, and they could be, to some degree, have them before they became vampires, and they became much better as a vampire. The vampire was the changeover that let them like exert it the way you have like devil fruit users here. And Bella had this natural shield about her that blocked that kind of stuff. That I feel like this, and eventually at the end she learns how to exert it and create it around her to and many feet over so that others can be protected from probings and other things from the other enemies. I feel like this might be what's happening with Blackbeard. If indeed, again, I'm having a little theory piece here. That he couldn't be transported to the island ahead of Law, so he had to he had to fly in to get there quickly. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Blackbeard. I believe Blackbeard has possibly awakened his fruit now, and maybe he showcased that somewhere too, because his bounty has gone up by 1 billion plus berries now, so I wonder what else he's been doing to show off he's much more dangerous. Well, probably because there probably been reports too about the devil fruits being stolen, because they talk about what do they talk about that some insane powers, how they lost it, that they hunted down insane devil fruit abilities. So we got like teleportation, disease, ability to spread disease and try to create your own disease at will, and one that can make you insanely strong. Even so, I'm thinking though also how many of the others have awakened their fruits at this point. How far can Van Augur awaken? If Van Augur can awaken his, can it spread? Can he put anyone anywhere on the planet? I would think if he didn't awaken it, there would be some limitations. There always are, actually. There's always limitations. A devil fruit, once you awaken it, that's when it truly becomes something, you become a force of nature, like Doflamingo did, and how Katakuri. I'm actually surprised we didn't see more of Big Mom if she's awakened hers. I almost wonder if she hasn't yet. Because I feel like her spirit, her soul manipulation would have been even greater upon other people around her, even if they're not afraid of her, if she truly awakened it. Because Jinbei, she couldn't steal Jinbei's soul because he was not afraid of her. And yeah. So that's it. I think I am going to end this here today. Ugh.